guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be bringing you a short tutorial of how to get the Van Hagar tone which Eddie Van Halen has on albums such as For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Balance, and all of those 5150-esque kind of tones which he used a harmonizer for. And I'm gonna, although I don't have a harmonizer, I can get a very similar tone using the THR10X, which I'm going to share the settings for in terms of EQ, the effects I'm using, and that's about it really. But let's listen to some riffs. Right, okay then, how do you get this setting? As you can see, I've saved it as a preset here in this amp, but if you want to actually achieve this tone straight off the bat, say if you've just bought a new one and you've got it straight out the box and you want to go straight for it, or if you already have one, the thing to do is you go on to the Brown 2 amp model, which you can see there. Then of course you have your three EQ switches, which we'll get to in a moment. But of course you have your gain, which is probably the most important thing with this setting. It's not ridiculously high. It's actually pushing probably around 2 o'clock-ish. Okay? Then what you've got to do, obviously you can play with your master in the meantime to find the right volume level that suits you, but I have it all the way up so that I have a wider range of volume and I don't know how to describe it, but a more valvey-esque tone, if that makes sense. And also I have a wider gate of volume with the guitar knob here. That's why I have my master all the way up. But now the EQ settings. Now with the this Van Hagar kind of sound, it's a very bassy tone. So the idea for this, and obviously you've got small speakers, you turn the bass all the way up. Then with the middle, which is where it gets interesting, if you scoop it, you're going to sound like Dimebag Darrell, and you don't really want that with this sound. So what you're going to do is you are going to push the mids quite a bit. Start it off at probably 12 o'clock, and then adjust it between sort of 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock until you find it. It's never fully cranked at all. But the thing to do is try and find the sweet spot between 12 and 3. I would imagine it's probably around 2-ish. Then with treble, it's probably more or less the same. It's not really scratchy because obviously it's a very warm tone. But I'd say probably between 12 and 3 again. So just the thing to do is tweak the mid and trebles between 12 and 3 o'clock, and you should find that sort of sweet spot depending on the guitar you have and stuff like that. Then with effects is where you're replicating the harmonizer kind of effect. With the Eventide or Eventide H3000 Harmonizer that he used on these records, he created a stereo chorus effect, and lucky for this amp, it is rigged in stereo, as are the effects. So with the chorus, you have a very mild chorus. So if you can see there, it's literally just after you've turned it on. so there's just a slight hint of chorus on there. And the setting I more or less got it on now is where I'm at in terms of this tone. Whereas with reverb, obviously if you're playing with a raw amp and not recording anything, you're going to want quite a lot of reverb, obviously, so you can get that warm, kind of atmospheric, realistic presence to your sound. Whereas if you're recording anything, you really want to back that reverb off, or if not, add it on afterwards. And then with the guitar volume, do what you like, crank it if you must. But anyway, that is the settings for the Van Hagar kind of sound, which Eddie Van Halen uses. Okay, here's just a quick listen to the setting I just dialed in for you guys. I backed the chorus off just a slight bit, so it's, if you were thinking of it as a clock face, it's probably pointing at around, I don't know, 8 o'clock-ish. Anyway, here's just a quick go. I'll just give you some riffs. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's a great sound to use if you are planning on using this for your own playing. Just one thing to note, that for some of the riffs I was using, I ended up playing full of Aftershock off the album Balance, which uses heavily the Van Halen flanger, which I did use to sort of support that sound for that given riff, with the tone I've just told you about over the top. But anyway, I've really enjoyed making this video because obviously not only is it a great tone to have, but also when actually finding this tone in the amp, I managed to there are many other names of guitar players which you can assign to this amp. Obviously, if you've been watching my YouTube channel a little while, there's players such as Gus G, Steve Vai, Satchel from Steel Panther, and a bunch more. But literally, that is the point I'm trying to make. There are tons and tons of tones in this amp which are absolutely great if you're into that rock kind of music, whether it be older or modern. And also there's some great bluesy kind of tones which you can find in this amp. For instance, if you've listened to some of, I know he's very much a rock guy, but Jason Becker from when he was with David Lee Roth. If you listen to the song Tell the Truth, which I told you about before, there's a really great sort of bluesy tone for that song, and this amp really does have that tone. And I'm pretty sure a section of that song will come up as a lick of the week at some point. Who knows? But I don't really have much else to say. But help me reach 400 subscribers. I'm nearly there now. So please help me. It would be great if I can reach that. And also please like and subscribe. I've repeated myself. Cheers. Rock on. I'll see you later.